Good evening. Yes, I'm back after 2 weeks, a little bit redder, doing my impression of a tomato. Let me just test my sound, see what I sound like here. I'm just going to go on my phone, see if I'm coming through loud and clear. Let's have a look. Yep, sounds good to me. Okay. Let's get rid of that. How are you all? You all right? Had a good time? How's Chris? Chris is in the Ireland. Chris is in the Ireland, and Denny's in the Germany, and he's Irish. And Kitty is somewhere, and Miss Blue Sky is in the house, and so is Mascara Snake, and the lurker, Chief Lurker James is also there as well. He's lurking in the background. I'm trying to tempt him to jump in the after chat a bit later. How is everyone? You all good? Isn't it lovely? We finally had some sunshine. We finally had some beautiful hot weather. Right now in my room, my fans told me it's 24 degrees in here. So it's pretty stuffy. I have got the windows open, but I think I've said this before that my flat is it faces north anyway, but I get the sunsets as the sun sets. I get the sun there, and it can get a bit hot in here. But yeah, it's been really hot, really hot, and it means I've had to step up the watering in the allotment as well, which is doing really well. Really well. I'm really happy with my sweet corn's growing. Not everyone, Yes, BB. He's back from his saga holiday bus trip. Oh dear, it's good to have BB and his humour here as well. It really is. Anyone else? Welcome to abuse me, please. Bring it on. I don't mind. We love it. This is the positive health show, and you're in Dr. Robert's surgery. I thought that's my new catchline now. You welcome to my surgery. Do you like that? I thought of that during the week. So yeah. I had a lovely holiday anyway. So tonight's show, I'll tell you all about my holiday in a minute. Tonight's show I'm going to start it as usual. And we've got memes now because I've been collecting memes for like the last 2 weeks, so there's going to be a lot of video memes. So we're gonna split them in two. I'm going to break Pete's record. Now I was going to share a video with you, but I'm not a music video with you that I got permission from someone in Cookie and Pete show last night. But I'm not going to do that because by the time I put all my video memes together, they were quite long, so I'm going to split them in two. So you're going to get about 20 minutes worth of memes to start with. I hope you like them. One or two might have copied Pete's in the past, and Pete's loving his new game that I sent him. My son James works for EA Games, and we got Pete a copy of F1, and I think he started doing videos of it as well. So it was Pete's going to take notes. Yeah, see, I do my memes on a Tuesday, then Pete has to edit his ready for Wednesday. You see, but yeah, it's going to be a bit of a longer one tonight. So I hope you're all well. We've got 13 people watching this wonderful show. So I'm going to start off, and then I'll come back to you. And then tonight we're going to be doing some health news as usual. And also I'll tell you all about what's been going on in my allotment. I'll bore you about my 2 little breaks that I had as well whilst I was away. And what else? I've got notes down here as well, but I just haven't looked at them at the moment. Hang on, let's have a look. What else have I got written down here? Oh yeah, we've got a quiz at the end as well. So don't forget, stick around for the quiz because I know how you all love the quiz. Some other bits and pieces I'm going to run through as well. Other than that, I'm going to present a few things for you. Here we go. All right. Stay there. Stay there. Here we go.
It has many variations, but basically there is a small group of people, a small cabal, that secretly controls everything that is happening in the world. All the wars, all the revolutions, all the epidemics, everything that is happening is controlled by this very small group of people who are, of course, evil and have bad intentions. Now, as a historian, the most important thing I can say about these theories, they are never right, because the global cabal theory says two things. First, everything is controlled by a very small number of people. Secondly, these people hide themselves. They do it in secret. Now, both things are nonsense. It's impossible for people to control, a small group of people, to control and predict everything, because the world is too complicated. So the idea that a small group of, I don't know, the Jewish cabal, the Freemasons, whoever, they can really control and predict all the wars, this is nonsense.
The future is not just happening. The future is built by us, by a powerful community as you here in this room. We have the means to improve the states of the world.
This is nonsense. Those who control the data control the future not just of humanity, but the future of life itself. This is nonsense. The US, for example, is building a global surveillance system, while my home country of Israel is trying to build a total surveillance regime in the West Bank. It's impossible for people to control, a small group of people, to control and predict everything, because the world is too complicated.
We have to prepare for a more angry world, and how to prepare? It means to take the necessary action.
This is nonsense.
We have to reinforce our resilience against a new virus possibly, or other risks which we have on the global agenda.
This is nonsense.
Out of these troubled times, our fifth objective, a new world order, can emerge.
This is nonsense.
Full opportunity to conclude our week here with such concrete proposals and ideas of how we can really create, I would say, a new world order.
This is nonsense.
We're really talking about something bigger on top of that, which is redesign the state now for the new world.
Order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign.
This is nonsense.
The phrase that I often use myself, that we needed a new world order.
This is nonsense.
There'll be a new world order out there, and we've got to lead it.
These theories, they are never right. By hacking organisms, elites may gain the power to re-engineer the future of life itself. This is nonsense. Evolution by natural selection with evolution by intelligent design. Not the intelligent design of some god above the clouds, but our intelligent design. This is nonsense.
People should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people.
Planet Earth is the plane of inertia. Planet Earther. It's not a planet. The center of the field is the most magnetic point. This is why all compasses point to the North Pole. It's a pole of electromagnetic energy, and above North Pole is Polaris. Atoms don't exist. Everything's made out of electromagnetic torus field. Physical matter is a result of two opposing forces equalized on the plane of inertia. Here is the U-torus, which is the U-torus, a portal. 0 and 1, which is the binary code of this simulation, and it comes from the torus field. Your spirit is a spiral of energy, an electromagnetic torus field. Your crown chakra is a lotus of life, which is a top-down view of a torus field, because this all goes into your head. The hyperboloid of a torus field inhales and exhales, and this is why your nose is the same thing. Your torso is anything below the head, which is your torus field. The neutron is the plane of inertia, planet Earther. The negative electron, the positive proton. The Bible is the torus field. Two means by, and these are called bowls. Two bowls, by bowl. We also have the Torah, the torus field, because this is the only thing that exists. As above, so below. This is the torus field, and this is the plane of inertia, planet Earth. The ancients understood this. The sun and moon going around the magnetic North Pole is your Ida and Pingala, the pineal and pituitary gland going around your spine, which is also the North Pole. Everything's micro and macro. The link is in the bio for this PDF. The link is in the bio for the Hearth book as well.
I don't like the questions I ask, so I'll ask you one today. Please explain to me the difference between Putin's invasion of Ukraine and our invasion of Iraq. Somebody tell me what was different. Why was ours considered okay and Russia's not? They're both for the same thing, regime change. Same thing. We want to change who is governing Iraq. Putin wanted to change who is governing Ukraine. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't support either war. They both suck. But everybody, you notice our national media doesn't bring that up at all, do they? And you notice they brought up now the Fed or the international courts have made it so Putin can't travel now because he's considered a war criminal. Let's not forget the international courts did the same thing with Bush and Cheney after the invasion of Iraq. Why do you think George Bush can't leave the U.S.?
This is it, y'all. This is our reckoning. In 2008, scientists found that thoughts directed to an end can infect inanimate objects and virtually all living matter, from single-celled organisms to human beings. The emission of light particles seems to be the mechanism by which an intention produces its effects. All living organisms emit a constant stream of photons that are a means of directing non-local instantaneous signals from one part of the body to another and to other beings. Biophotons are generated and emitted by the DNA inside the cell. Directed intention manifests itself as an electrical and magnetic energy and produces an orderly flow of photons. Our intentions seem to operate as if they were highly coherent frequencies capable of changing the molecular structure of matter. Living beings are harmonized with each other and also with the Earth and its constant changes of magnetic energy. It has been shown that thought energy can also alter the environment. In conclusion, studies of thought and consciousness are emerging as fundamental aspects of biology and medicine.
They found out that birds twittering in the morning will help all plant life because they're giving off a frequency which the plants absorb, and it's a good frequency. The blossoms start opening up. All sorts of wonderful things happen to birds chirping. The rooster crowing the first thing in the morning. It's a wonderful thing. Nature will respond.
स्क्रीन पे देख सकते हैं कि हम लैंडर मॉड्यूल
People are applauding. Let us all wait to hear from the Secretary Department of Space and Chairman ISRO, Shri S. Somnath.
We just said babies have been shown to wiggle into the best sleep position too. Yes, because, okay, let's take it a step further. Babies are filled with structured water. They wiggle so that they can figure out where to be, like a compass. They do exactly the exact same thing. They start to move their body just like a compass. Now, if we take it one step further, dogs spin in a circle before they use the bathroom because they're trying to align to magnetic north. So anytime you see a dog that's spinning in a circle before using the bathroom, it's because the dog is trying to sync up to magnetic north before using the bathroom. We all have things in our brain called magnetite. It's the same exact stone right here that's in the brain that allow us to connect to the earth. It's our natural GPS, and it aligns us to the earth as well. Now, what's interesting is when we're bombarded with lots of Wi-Fi frequencies and all of these things, this stone or this crystal inside the brain no longer works. So guess what you become dependent on? GPS.
My food contains glucose, the fuel that feeds the trillions of healthy cells in my body. But that glucose also feeds something else. Zombie cells. Old, damaged cells that have lingered beyond their useful life. By spewing toxic sludge, these zombies infect other healthy cells, speeding up the aging process. Everything from hair loss and wrinkles to the onset of arthritis, cancer, and dementia. But what scientists have realized is that when we fast and cut off the supply of glucose, that zombie army is starved of energy, which saps them of their power. When food is plentiful, our body stores excess energy in the form of fat, under the skin and around the internal organs. When food is scarce, that fat is sent to the liver, where it's turned into an alternative fuel source called a ketone. And it's these ketones which provide the emergency power source, not only for our bodies, but also our brains. Remember those toxic zombie cells aging my body? Well, they're not the only things getting dealt with. Even inside my healthy cells, there's wear and tear. But scientists think that without food to process, those cells can switch into repair mode, fixing damage, cleaning up garbage, nipping any problems in the bud. With the zombies in check and the rest of me in tip-top condition, the future looks healthier and also longer.
Everybody keeps talking about the new disease that's on plants, okay? What this is called, it's called leaf septoria, all right? What it is, it's a fungus, a biological fungus, could be a biological weapon, but it happens from a fungi infection, and it definitely could be man-made. The original infection is not, but apparently they're spraying this stuff from the skies. This was never here a couple years ago. This happened last year or the year before. I told my friends, hey, are you seeing this on your crop? And they said, yes, we are for the first time. So this is just grass. It's a really good example of what it looks like, but this is how they're literally gonna destroy all of our food. Here's another example on the lilac tree. It just eats the leaves, literally eats everything. Now I'm gonna show you videos of other people going through this, and I'm telling you, this is from what they're spraying above. You need to watch the documentary, Chem or Con. There is a female whistleblower in there named Celeste, and she literally had access to the data of them dropping the stuff from the sky in an aerosol form, literally to destroy our food crops. So look into it and check this out.
I saw a video on Instagram of like it causing like the rain that we just had causing this stuff to grow on all the peaches, and it's seriously growing on all of them. It is crazy. It's like acid rain or something causing the peaches to look like this. It is insane.
Is atomic. The problem is most people don't know what an atom is, and when you learn and know what an atom is, it is a trinity, a neutron, a proton, and an electron. You will find that trinity transfers into every other field of human knowledge. In religion, it's called the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Oh my God.
In science, it's dielectricity, magnetism, and electricity, the three field modalities of the universe. Everything is magnetic. In fact, God is magnetism.
Hello, I'm back again. Welcome. Welcome to everyone who's joined me late there. Yeah, I've got quite a few. I've got part 2 of the videos a bit later, if people are up for it. I don't know. We'll see how the show goes. But yeah, I've been away for 2 weeks, and let's take these out. And I was collecting my video memes for the show, yeah, I only collect stuff that I think is worth sharing with you. So that was boring, Robert. It's not as boring as you, Denny. Did anyone watch Pete and Cookie last night? The best bit of the show was when Cookie turned around and thanks. I'd like to thank Cookie. He said, "Oh, fuck off, Dinny." That was the best bit of the show. And I think Cookie watches the replay. So Cookie, if you're watching, can you abuse him a bit more in the future, please? That'd be great. Thank you very much. And Pete, you're very welcome as well. So how is everyone? Yeah. How is everyone? You're all good? Yeah. I've got how many stories have I got for you tonight? Let's have a look. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stories tonight. If we get to them, we get to them. But if we don't, then we don't. It's simple as that. And don't forget, we've got a quiz tonight. So what have I been up to? Let me go to my notes. Let me have a look at my notes. Oh yeah, first thing I've got to do is the the whole legal bit and say good evening. My name is Robert. I'm not a doctor. I'm an entertainer. I'm here to share some health stories with you. If you'd like some advice on your health and other things important like that, please go and see a real doctor or an MD or any other thing that your country cares to call them. Thank you very much, and welcome to the show, and welcome to Not a Dr. Robert's Surgery. Thank you. That's the legal bit out of the way. So, and welcome. Let me say hello to everyone again. Welcome to Paula. Hello, Paula. Nice to see you. BB is in the house as well with his usual humour. Dinny, Jimmy, Pete. Who else is here? Let's have a look. Going down. Mascara, Kitty, Gonzo Johnny, Miss Blue Sky. Let's have a look. Anyone else that I've missed here? Anyone else? Manda as well, of course. Manda, I see Manda there. Congratulations to Manda. She's going to be a granny or a nanny or a grandma, whatever you want to be called, grandma, Anyone else? Liar, your bum's on fire. I do like that. Liar, who were you before? I'm sure you were someone else, but like me, you've added a bit of length to your name. Yeah, I said hello to Gonzo Johnny as well. And Steve Tagoose, of course. Hello, Steve. And, of course, the Chief Lurker, James. Remember, we do an after show as well. And so if you want to join us for the after show, we normally have at least half a dozen people in the after show. Come and join us. I'll put the link up near the end of the show. You're very welcome to come and join us. And some of the after shows are a bit more, people just are a bit more, they open up a bit more and freely, and they can say what they want to say because we're not live or anything like that. We are live, but we're live in a small group of people. And talking of after shows, can I just say thank you so much to everyone that has supported me so far with giving me donations towards the StreamYard. I've put the link back up again, and I've also put it in the show notes as well. We were about something like 80 quid short, and since then I think I've got another 20 quid. So if you can support it, please support it. I'll put the link up again. You don't have to have a debit card or anything like that to look, where is it now? Where is it? Here it is. Let me just copy that. So yeah, you don't have to have a PayPal account, but if you do want to bung us a couple of quid towards the StreamYard, then that'll be great. If you can't afford it, then no worries, no problem. But please, if you can, and thank you again for everyone who's already contributed. I really appreciate it. I do this because I love it. I really enjoy it. But one of the best bits of the show is the after chat show, I think, because again, it's much more candid. People, and where is he? Where's the Spanish chicken? Where is he? Is he on holiday or something? No, he can't be. He never takes a bloody holiday. Robert, ban me from the after chat. I'm sending fuck all. Well, nothing new there then, Dinny, is there? Yeah. Have you heard when Dinny walks, he goes like this? He does the squeak. Tight as a duck's arse. Yeah. Again, thank you very much for everyone who's contributed. Well, let me just share that with you. I'll show you what we've got so far. Actually, let me present that to you. Share screen. Where is it? Where is it? There, that one. Here we are. There we are. So that's what I'm. Yeah, that's what we've got so far. 27 days left. 25% collected of the £80. So it was the StreamYard is about 180 quid, 190 quid, something like that for the year. So once, I mean, you know, I'm going to contribute to whatever is left. So, you know, it's not a problem. But if you can help, that'd be fantastic. Thank you very much. Let me get rid of that so I can see you all again. What's been said here? People chatting. So Chris is in Ireland. Chris, you're in Ireland. Did you like the little space one I did there for you? I kept that meme especially for you. And Jimmy, here we go. No, that one. No, I've missed it. Hang on, Jimmy. Here we go. Because the chat moves so quickly. Do you not get the memo, Rob? Spanish evolved into a chicken kebab. I had a kebab last night. It was bloody delicious. We should have had a raffle. Yeah, we could have had a raffle. Yeah, we could have had a raffle. That's a good call, but I'm not sure what we'd raffle. I could say myself, but but then it's just leading to more and more jokes, isn't it? Really, you know. Oh, here he is. Look, there he is. Look, you know when a channel is fecked, Denny's got a spanner and Jimmy's on it. Welcome to the Bristol Chicken. We'd like to welcome the Bristol Chicken there. Bristol Chicken's always in the after chat. Yeah, good to see Spanish there as well. And yeah, normally Johnny's also there as well. Jimmy hasn't joined us for a while. Jimmy, if you want to join us, but no problem if you don't. Don't forget, if you want to watch Raconteur's News, Jimmy does his show now on a Saturday night at 10 o'clock. And on that note, I'd just like to throw this out to everyone, because not everyone watches the show, but I'd like to say this. Well done to Jimmy for keeping the show going. It's not easy. Jimmy is, I just want to say this, right? We've all got our styles. Jimmy's got his own style. It's completely different to my style. It's completely different to Pete, to Cookie, to Steve, and the legend that was Jason. And Raconteur's News will never, ever be the same, okay? Because Jason made it his own show, and his right-hand man, Jimmy, is now taken over. And the reason I'm saying this, because I did help co-present a couple of times Raconteur's News, and I just wanted to give my tuppence worth and say, I think personally, and if you want to make some comments here, please do so. But personally, I think that Jimmy should like go ahead, do whatever he wants to do with the show. We know he can't get all the keys and stuff like that, and we can leave the show up. Most people don't watch old previous shows and things like that, but it's there for a historical reason. If you want to watch it, it's there. Okay. But I think that Jimmy should start maybe not the Raconteur's News show, or Raconteur's News 2. And do that. And people will follow him or they won't follow him. And I think some of the comments that came in not last week, but the week before, when he was doing his show, were very unjustified. And I think they're a bit negative. And there were some people there that I haven't even seen before. And I think that Jimmy needs a bit more support than that. And not many people were stepping up to try and support him. So good luck to Jimmy, whatever he does with Raconteur's News. If it wasn't for Raconteur's News, I don't think, and Jason, I would have started this show. So I really appreciate the fact that Raconteur's News existed. But remember, like everything, everything evolves. Raconteur's News was started before even Jason, and then Jason took it in a direction, and sadly Jason passed, and now Jimmy's taking it in a different direction. And sadly, we haven't got the keys. They're lost. There's nothing we can do about it, and we can just move on and start a fresh page with Raconteur's News. Rick, how much do you need to get your goal, Rob? I did show it, Rick. I think about another 60 quid, something like that. I think that's what I need. So yeah, the link's up. I did post it up in the notes on the show. But thanks for asking, Rick. Just drinking my gin. Some nice old ice cold water. How hot is it where you are? It's currently about 21 degrees here. I've got my fan on here over on the side here, and it's keeping me nice and cool. Jimmy said it's all good, even the negative comments. I don't lose sleep over it. Good for you, Jimmy. I'm glad, mate. You know, I understand what you're saying, but even remember, with negative comments, it's negative energy. You know, and we don't need that. You know, it's you're doing your best, mate. So we appreciate it. You know, just keep doing whatever you want to do, Jim. You know, and people will either follow you or they won't follow you. It's down to them. It's really down to them. What else was I going to show? Yeah. So so I went away. I went down to Torquay. The weather wasn't great. I'm not going to lie to you. The weather wasn't great. I haven't been to Torquay ever before, and so you've got Torquay, you've got Paignton and Brixham as well. It's all around it, and they call that allegedly they call it the English Riviera. I think they need to change it because it wasn't amazing. It really wasn't amazing. I mean. You know, I think a lot of seaside towns, and they're starting to suffer because of the lockdown and everything. Where we had the lockdown and businesses are shut and things like that. But yeah, it's all looking a bit run down. I do like it. I love a beach. I didn't particularly like Torquay's beach. The harbour was lovely, but then I think most harbours are really lovely as well. Went to Brixham, went to Paignton, met up with some family, which was fantastic. Haven't seen family for over about 5-6 years, something like that. Last time I saw them was sadly when my brother passed, and they came up for the funeral. I mean, it's a long old drive for me. It's a good 4 to 5 hours, depending on the traffic, to get down there. So it's a long drive, but it was lovely. We stayed in an Airbnb, me and my partner, and one of the best things about it was the jacuzzi. We had a jacuzzi, and we got in the jacuzzi at night, and we were able to stargaze because it was a really clear night one night, and it was fantastic just to be sitting in a nice warm bath, you know, like this. You do see some strange lights, don't you? You do. Not just, I mean, you know, you get the satellites, whatever they are. You get those moving things across the sky, don't you? You know, they go across the sky. But what I kept seeing was flashing lights. You know, I kept seeing like some flashes in the sky. You're thinking, what was that? What was that? So it was great. It was okay. It was a nice trip. On a crappy weather day, we did I beat my partner at bowling. I beat her at crazy golf, and yeah, that was great. It was great. I love a bit of bowling, a bit of crazy golf. And a pool. I'm not very good at pool. I'm not very good at pool. But I am. What do you normally score on? I mean, the last time I played bowling was about 2-3 years ago, something like that, and I got 125. So I got 5 out of 2 games that we had. I got 5 strikes, so I was quite pleased with that, and a few half strikes as well. So I got 119 and 125. So I was quite pleased with that, but I loved it. It was so cheap. I don't know how much it is where you are, but 2 games, right? We've got 2 games of bowling and a drink. Now, a drink, isn't it, right? Any drink these days, you go into a pub, it's a £5. It's a £5. Whatever way you look at it, it's a £5, right? I got 2 games of bowling and a drink, 11 quid. That was the bargain of the century. Absolute bargain of the century. I've just remembered as well, afterwards, we were a bit hungry and we went, so we thought, oh, let's go and get some, let's see what's open or whatever. My partner's son and his daughter-in-law, they'd been to Torquay and they recommended an Italian place. So we tried to go there and it was too early. They didn't open until 6 o'clock. It was about 5 o'clock. We weren't gonna like just like hang around till 6 o'clock and eat, because we were starving. We were starting to get hangry, the hangry, not hungry, but hangry. So we saw this fish and chip shop, and it was quite pricey. It was fish and chips was around 22 quid, something like that. So we thought, oh, we'll give it a go. We went in there. Honestly, it was the best fish and chips I think I've had. It was superb. The fish was amazing. The chips were just crispy. It was just fucking delicious. My partner had the scallops, and they were delicious as well. In the old shells, the proper shells and everything. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So yeah, and then at the weekend, so I was there for 4 days, and then at the weekend, could see that there was going to be some sunshine coming. So it was like, come on, let's gonna get down to the favourite place, Bournemouth. Love Bournemouth. If you've never been to Bournemouth, it's worth a visit. The sand is amazing, and of course, next to Bournemouth, you've got Poole as well, and it's just the most beautiful beach. So we decided just to book one night in a hotel, very nice hotel, the Mercure Hotel. It was really, really nice actually. And got a good price as well. And as we drove down there, suddenly we kept seeing these signs like air show. And we're thinking, oh, when's that? I wonder, when's this air show? Fuck me, it was only the weekend that we went there. So tried to go where we normally go and park, on the beach and everything, because it was a really lovely sunny day. And no way. It was all blocked off because they'd got all the fair had come in, and they had the army there, they had the navy there, they had this there, they had the beggars for the charities there, everyone there. So where you would normally park, which is right next to the beach, and then you literally just walk 2 minutes and you're right next to the sea, couldn't park there. So eventually we got a space up where the hotel was, and had to walk down the cliff and or down the walkway. And it was, oh my God, A, it was really, really hot, but B, it was packed. But I have to say this, that I've never been to an air show, and I actually really, really, really loved it. I really enjoyed it. It was, I'd never seen the red arrows before, and it was mesmerizing to see. Chemtrails exist. That's all I'll say. You could see them chemtrailing. At one point, this airplane, it did like a heart, and then with an arrow going through it. It was fantastic. Yeah, it went on from about 1 o'clock till 5:30, something like that. And the hotel where we stayed as well had a pool at the bottom in the basement, and it had a jacuzzi and a bit of a steam room as well, which was it a steam room or was it a sauna? No, the sauna. Yeah. And it was lovely. It was really, really lovely. Next day as well was great. We went down to Poole Beach and sat on Poole Beach. It was fantastic. I got a little bit red, got a little bit lobstered up, but it was lovely. It really was lovely. And we did eat some lobster as well, which was really lovely. We went and we stayed. We went to a different beach and we found a place to have some lobster. It was a little bit small. 30 quid for half a lobster, which I suppose is the going rate, really. But it was lovely. It really was lovely. It was done in the garlic sauce, this one, because you get thermidor, don't you? You get lobster thermidor. But beautiful. Great to get some sunshine. Absolutely amazing. Had to come back. I knew we were going to get some sun, some hot weather, so I gave the allotment a really, really good watering before we went away. And I've got some produce to show you. Look at this. Look. Here we go. Look. Some of my toms, they're all here. I'll just tip them. Look. I'm overrun. With tomatoes. I really am. I've got red ones. I've got and these now. People, I kept thinking, why aren't my tomatoes turning red? It turns out I planted a variety of yellow tomato. So the plan is to make like sauces with them. So I'm going to do the whole, boil them, like cut them, boil them for 2 minutes, and then peel the skins, and then I'm going to turn them into tomato sauces. That's going to be a bit of a process. It was a job for today, but didn't have the time today. And the other thing is all my beans are finished as well, and they've all been put in the freezer, blanched and put in the freezer. And the great news is I'm so pleased that I've never done sweet corn before, but I've got sweet corn coming. Now, my partner, she grew sweet corn in her polytunnel. We had it last week. It was bloody amazing. If you've never tasted sweet corn, literally 15 minutes from picking it into the water, cooking it, and then on your plate. Oh my God, it is the most amazing thing. It's like a 10 out of 10. It's so good. So I'm looking forward to eating more of my sweet corn as well, or trying my sweet corn. But I'm definitely going to do that again next year. And it's the thing I've learned about the allotment is you want to do things that are easy to do. Really, really easy. I've still got raspberries coming, a different variety of raspberry coming through as well. I was really, I went down there and I could see because so I'm just trying to see what's easy to maintain. And also what I use a lot of. So I'm going to be growing garlic again. I'm going to be growing onions this time as well. Don't know what and next year, definitely loads of sweet corn, less tomatoes. Oh, did something called mashed potato squash. Let's see if I can get it up for you and show you it actually. Just 1 second. Here it is, mashed potato squash. Squash. Here it is. All right, let's click on that and let's share that with you and show you what it is. Here we are. Get off you. Right, let's share that. Where are we? Present, share screen. Here we go. There we are. That's mashed potato squash. And it is such a unique flavor. The skins are beautiful. You shove it in the oven, right, for like 45 minutes, about 170, 180 degrees, 45 minutes. You cut it in half, take out all the seeds and stuff, shove it in the oven. Oh my God, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Well worth it. It really is. Worth doing. Absolutely worth doing. I'm going to do more than that. Apparently it's a winter squash, but somehow I managed to do it in spring and summer. It was really, really worth doing. Really, really worth doing. What else do I want to share with you? Let's have a look at what's been said in the chat. Let me go up to the chat where I left off there. Let's have a look. Denny, did you wear a miniskirt, Robert? Yes, I did, Denny. Thank you very much. Chris is addicted to camping now. Jimmy says, there is very little negativity, Kitty. We'll be paying more attention to chat and start banning see you next Tuesdays. Absolutely, Jimmy. I don't blame you. Good for Jimmy. BB. People chatting to themselves here. Chris is addicted to camping now. Good. Haven't done any camping this year, Chris. Although this would be a good time to camp, I suppose. It must be really warm out there. Paul at 180. Oh, hang on, that's darts. When I was banned from bowling after chucking them, I said Paula. Chris says 5 strikes in a row. Modern bowling alleys are a joke. They put the pins on strings so they don't fall over. Absolutely right. They've just opened a brand new bowling alley in Milton Keynes, where my son lives, and they're all, Chris, on bloody strings now. And you're thinking, why? This one that I went to was the old type bowling alley, and it was really, really good, really good. So yeah, I wish they hadn't put them on. They hadn't done that. I don't know why they do that. I really don't. Will the real Mavis Spearhead please stand up? There's a reference to when Jimmy did his doom and gloom show. Good evening, Stewie. Stewie's in. Hello, Stewie, mate. Welcome to the surgery, Dr. Robert's surgery. That's my new line now. Robert, did you go in the sea? Of course I went in the sea, Chris. Yeah, and it was a bit cold to begin with, but once you just got to, I mean, I'm a fire sign, and I do like my creature comforts. I like heat, so going in the sea, I'm a bit like, but once I'm in, and I just go, oh fuck it, and I just go in it, and get in there. My partner, she wild swims, so she's as hard as nails, and we're going away again actually. For a night, we're going down to Norfolk, down to Gorleston on Sea, which is near Great Yarmouth. We're going down at the weekend, providing the weather holds as well. So we're going to get another day's worth of sunshine. So more fun and games to talk about next week. All that was missing in Bournemouth was Zelensky playing the piano. Very good. Yeah, that made Paula laugh. That made me laugh as well. What else is being said here? 22 quid. Jimmy says 22 quid for a fish and chips sounds like inflation is through the roof. Well, the thing is, Jim, when you're hungry, and I'll be honest with you, it was, if I go to my local fish and chip shop, a fish and chips now will cost you 14 quid anyway. And that's just to take it away. For a portion of fish and chips now, it's like 14 quid. It's an absolute bloody joke. It really is. So I don't know what it is where you are. Jimmy says, yellow tomatoes are lovely. They are. They're really, really good. Really good. I'm a Cherry Tom addict. Love them so much. What, you mean these ones, Miss Blue Sky? Yeah? These tiny ones? No. I'm a bit addicted to these as well. They're delicious. Katie loves the orange and yellow ones as well. Miss B tried them roasted with garlic and balsamic and fresh basil. Yep. I worked for Barefoots at Bognor. Lots of sweet corn, says Chris. There are 2 types of raspberry, says Jimmy. Rob, for a summer fruiting and an autumn fruiting. Oh, that's why I've got it. I didn't know that, mate. I just kept the raspberry bushes on because they were there when I took it on. So yeah, I just they're starting to come through. They're the orangey yellow ones, Jim. They're the ones, and they're really. In fact, I prefer the taste of those ones. I don't know if anyone's ever seen those orangey yellow raspberries, and they're really, really delicious. And the apples must all be ready now as well. What else is being said? This isn't a health show. It's a mouth-watering temptation, says Paula. If you've just joined us, welcome to the Health Freedom chat show. My name's not Dr. Robert. I'm here just to entertain you. We're going to share some health stories from the British Boring Corporation, from the Daily Snail, and I've also got one from what's it called? Zero Hedge as well. So if you like the show, please give it a thumbs up. What else is being said here? I've got to get down to the bottom here and then do some stories. There's a Megasaurus. Is this Dr. John Campbell, the cold expert? Megasaurus, are you a believer in the dinosaurs? I've got a bit of a story about dinosaurs. Well, not dinosaurs, but dragons a bit later. I'm going to show you. I've got some more video memes to share with you, because I've been away for 2 weeks, and so I collected quite a lot of videos that I like to share with people. But in the meantime, I want to share a story with you. So which one am I going to share? Let's have a look. I'm just going to grab one now. This is quite an interesting one as well, right? What tick species can make you allergic to red meat? Good old Mr. Mr. Jabberwoony himself, Mr. Gates. I think he's behind this tick. So, how common is an alpha-Joule syndrome diagnosis? They tied it to the Lone Star tick that, despite in Texas-themed name, is most common in the eastern and southern US. About 4% of all US cases have been in the eastern end of New York's Long Island, and I believe that's where Lyme's disease first started. Someone will tell me from Lime Island, isn't it? I believe. So basically, this tick, right? It makes you allergic to red meat. How convenient is that? How convenient is a tick that makes you allergic to red meat? So what are the symptoms of this? People with the syndrome can experience symptoms including hives, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, severe stomach pain, difficulty breathing, dizziness, swelling to the lips, throat, tongue, or eyelids. Unlike some other food allergies, which occur soon after eating, these reactions hit hours later. I've never connected it with any food because it was hours after eating, said one patient, and her name. Some patients have only stomach symptoms. An American Gastro Association says people with unexplained diarrhea, nausea, and abdominal pain should be tested for the syndrome. Doctors counsel people with the allergies to change their diet, carry EpiPens, and avoid tick bites. The allergy can fade away in some people. Commons has seen that happen in about 15 to 20% of his patients. But the key is avoiding being rebitten. So don't get bitten by this tick, which is because there is now 500,000 Americans allergic to red meat because of this tick. So yeah, don't get, if you're going to America, make sure you can look after yourself. So that's that story. What else am I going to share with you? Let me see. Here's another story to share with you. I thought this was interesting. New parents lose more than 2 months of sleep in the first year of their child's life. A study finds mothers and fathers miss out on 4.5 hours of shut-eye every night. Now, those of you who are new or have had children before, this resonates with me so much. It really does. I remember when my kids were young and I was a postman. Now, the first thing is I used to have to get up at 4 a.m. because my shift started at 5. It was just the most ridiculous shift when I think about it. And I would get home about 1 o'clock and I'd be lucky to get a few hours sleeping. And then I was doing, because my wife never went to work, and then I would do overtime down at the main office, and from 6 till 9 at night, and then like you come home, you eat something to eat, you eat some grub, and then you're back in bed if you're lucky by 10, and then you're up at 4 in the morning again. And you're doing this literally with the overtime about 4 nights a week. But basically, I was doing a 5.5 day week, and you have to make time for your kids and stuff. Bleary-eyed new parents are deprived of more than 2 months of sleep in their first year of their child's life. Exhausted mothers and fathers typically miss out on 4.5 hours shut-eye each night, which works out just over 31 hours a week, or more than 68 days before their tots turn 1, according to a new study. They rack up an average of 975 nocturnal trips to tend to their baby in a year, almost 3 times a night. Although parents under 25 typically get up almost 4 times in the small hours, mothers are hardest hit, foregoing an average of 5 hours compared with 3.5 hours for fathers. Men also find it easier to get back to sleep, with 7 in 10 grabbing a good night's kip after being woken up, compared to 44% of women. The study noted this is often down to men getting less leave from work post-birth, meaning their bodies maintain a more regular sleep routine than mums who get extended leave of up to 12 months. Its authors also point out that breastfeeding is a major factor in nighttime duties, so women are called upon more than men. In the poll by Silent Night of 500 parents with children under 5, the most common reason was that their little ones were hungry or thirsty, according to more than half of the late night distress calls, followed by teething and needing the toilet. 1 in 3 mums and dads take more than half an hour to drop off afterwards. Silent Night sleep expert said taking care of a baby or toddler can have a significant impact on the quality of sleep mums and dads get, especially in those first few months after birth. What she didn't complete there was, buy one of our beds, it'll help you sleep much, much better. Mothers who choose to breastfeed will naturally wake up more often than dads throughout the night, meaning they learn to soothe the baby back to sleep more quickly. And it just goes on to say, having a child is not easy, and it's okay to ask for a hand every now and then. Well, I don't know about you, but our routine was that when my wife was breastfeeding, and she did that, I think at least for the first 6 months of our children's lives, if the baby needed to go to the loo, then I would do the nappy change. And it was really, really difficult for me, because like if I got woken up at like 2 in the morning and then I did a nappy change, and then I'd have to be up at 4 to get ready for work again, it was an absolute nightmare. What we got? James Owens here. Good. The Chief Lurker James is here. Welcome, James. People talking about Mavis. And look, let me remind all you lurkers and all you lovely people in the chat, don't forget to hit the like button if you're enjoying the chat show tonight. Thumbs up, folks. Thank you very much. And here's a message for Dinny. And that was from Jason as well, Dinny. He sent a message to me. And where's Ron? What's happened to Ron? Ron left the chat. Ron left the Telegram chat. If people don't know, and you're new to the show, you can find Health Freedom in Telegram as well. But you can also find Raconteurs News in Telegram. But we lost Ron this week. He decided to leave the chat. I have sent Ron a message, but obviously he's not here. So I did say, can you join us maybe? But he didn't. He hasn't done. But I'm sure he might watch the show. Or he sometimes comments afterwards. So just sending some good vibes to Ron. We miss you, Ron. And also, let's not forget Kendo as well. Let's send some positive love out to Kendo, some positive vibes, and hope Kendo is still on a great road to recovery. And we can't wait to see him back in the chat here as well, joining us and giving his enlightenment on life. So we miss you, Kendo, and hope you get back soon. I hope you get back to us soon. Mavis is a geezer, says Spanish Chicken. What? Who's? But is Miss Blue Sky Spanish chicken? Is Miss Blue Sky a geezer? You know, I mean, no one's ever heard the voice of Miss Blue Sky, have they? You know. And talking of which, there we are. Look, talking of which, Miss Blue Sky says, "Yes, Rob, Kendo, wishing you well." There we go. Yeah, we're all wishing Kendo well. And James, not heard from Kendo since last op. I'm sure he's all right, James. I'm sure he's absolutely fine. Let me have a look at my notes. What else was I going to say to you? I've talked to you about that. I've talked to you about that. I've talked to you about that. I've done that. Oh, it looks like I've caught up there. That's all. Don't forget, we're going to have a little quiz at the end of the show tonight. Again, the usual quiz. I know how you love it. So Jimmy's saying some people on Telegram can be annoying. It happens from time to time. Folks will leave, but his timing was curious. He gained someone. We gained some and we lost someone. Yeah, that's right. I did notice that actually, Jim, as well. And again, the Telegram chat was set up by Jason. I don't know if Jimmy's got admin rights to that. I know I haven't. So again, it's just there, but we don't know we don't know if it, I'm sure Jim will probably start a new Telegram chat if he starts Raconteurs News 2. Or we just carry on posting it. It's there. It was something that that Jason put up, so it was nice to have it there. Here's another story for you. Let's do some more stories, some more health news. Here we go then. And again, welcome to Dr. Robert's surgery. And we're going to now talk to you about. So this is something that's been in the news. I'm sure we all know about it. Yeah. So Parola. Yeah. Let's have a look at the top here. How dangerous is Parola really? What should we be doing this winter? And could we even see another lockdown? Experts weigh in on the new real deal COVID variant. So I'm going to just skip through this. Are cases on the rise? Yes. Cases in the UK are rising sharply, almost doubling in a month, just as the country heads into autumn when the NHS gets busier. Data from Zoe Health study shows that there were 93,432 new daily cases of the infection on September the 2nd, up from about 50,000 at the start of August. What's happening in hospitals? Hospital admissions and numbers of beds occupied by patients had also been rising. Latest data shows the daily hospital admissions have risen almost 30% since June, with a 7-day rolling average of 322 on August 25th, compared to just 251 on June the 7th. Are deaths due to DIVIC increasing? Data from the ONS show that 74 people died due to the virus in the 7 days to August the 11th. It marks a 57% increase on the previous week when 47 deaths were logged. But as you can see, you can do anything with percentages there when we're only talking about 47 deaths, although every death is a tragedy. In total, under 230,000 people have died in the UK, with DIVIC listed as one of the causes of their death certificate since the start of the pandemic. But we know how those death certificates were manipulated, and how the doctors all got given £40 to write out death certificates without even seeing a patient. What will happen over the winter? Experts predict COVID cases will continue to rise in the UK as the UK heads into the autumn. As people mix more indoors, this could contribute to NHS pressures, with the season traditionally a busier period for the NHS than summer. Will there be a lockdown? Experts agree it is unlikely Britain will see severe mitigations like lockdown again. In recent months, the government has also insisted it will never revert back to pandemic-era measures unless a doomsday variant emerges. The chance of any sort of lockdown or tiered restrictions are vanishingly small, says one expert. What is Parola and where did it come from? Parola, scientifically called BA286, is a mutated cousin of Omicron and was first detected in Israel and Denmark last month. Now, was it not Israel, right, that got most of its population jibby-jabbied up? Interesting, that, isn't it? Why is it called Parola? Like other new coviant variants, online virus trackers decided to call it BA2.86. They came up with Parola. It's understood the variant could be shortened to Pi, the letter which follows Omicron in the Greek alphabet. They love it, don't they? They love it. They love giving it these numbers. It's like the old hurricanes, isn't it? They love that. Why has it sparked so much attention? This is because it's got 35 mutations on its spike protein, the part of the virus that that Divok vaccines are designed to target. So, and there's a GP urging vulnerable people to get immunity topped up with their Divok injections. Can it be treated? According to the CDC, existing tests to detect medications to treat Divok, such as blah, 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 and blah, blah, appear to be effective. Then it's gone on, like, where has it been spotted globally? Blah, blah, blah. How many cases are there? What does it say here? So I'm just skimming through it just to see if there's anything here. No, it's not really giving me an answer here. So there we go. Do the jib-jabs still work? Early expert analysis shows Parola may have some ability to dodge the immunity offered by some jabberoonies, as well as that from prior infection. Oh, what a surprise. Does that mean then the companies have got to make another one for us, for everyone to take, so they can earn a bit more money? Funny that, isn't it? Yeah. Funny that. So anyway, how is everyone? How are you all doing? Are you all doing all right? Yeah. It's good to be back. It's nice to be back here. It's funny not doing a show on a Tuesday. But don't forget, tomorrow you've got Pete and Cookie doing their show. We've got Steve doing his show on Thursday. Everyone seems to be doing really, really well at the moment. I thought, by the way, Jim, I thought your show Saturday was much more upbeat. And isn't it funny, right? The show previous to Jimmy's show, Jimmy's Doom and Gloom show, as we'll call it, that got a lot more viewers than the one that he did, which was much more uplifting last Saturday. So if you haven't watched it, go and watch it. But there you go. That's what people are like, aren't they? So yeah, let's do it. Where are we? 9:15. Don't forget, we're going to do a little quiz later. So stick around. That. I think I got my audio sorted now, Rob. Yeah. Someone made a very good comment last night. Jimmy's in an echo chamber. I thought that was very amusing. Yeah. Jimmy adjusted his decibels, I think, on his audio, and it's all sorted now. So that's good. Good to hear that. So well done, Jim. Maybe you need to come into the chat afterwards tonight, Jim, and prove to us that you haven't got an echo problem. Here's another story for you. Yes, okay. Let's have a look then. Let's have a look. World's most body. Oh no, do you know this now? Following on from that story that I just read there, screw your face diapers. Here's from Zero Hedge, I believe. Screw your face diapers. Mask mandate return sparks. We will not comply trend. Well done. Applaud that. We love that. That's very good. We do love that. That's good to hear. We will not comply. That was really good to hear. It really was. So Notably, former President Donald Trump released a video addressing every COVID tyrant who wants to take away our freedom. Hear these words: "We will not comply, so don't even think about it," he said. "We will not shut down our schools. We will not accept the lockdowns. We will not abide by your mask mandates, and we will not tolerate your divid mandates." Amen, Mr. President. We will not comply, wrote Arizona Republican blah, 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 Carrie Lake on Twitter. Whilst the former president had no authority to issue lockdowns, officials under the administration came up with national guidelines in early 2020 when the virus first arrived in the US soil. In a bid to deal with the DIVIC later in 2020, President Trump declared that he opposes lockdowns and mandates, saying that lockdowns are killing countries all over the world, and called on democratic governors to open up their states. Let's not forget that Donald was very proud to say that he got the vaccine out there very quickly. Let's not forget that, yeah? And let's not forget what Donald also said was I'm going to get a special prosecutor for those people, those Clintons. And then what did he say afterwards when he became president? I don't want to hurt these people. I just want to make funny signs with my hands. I don't want to hurt these people, these Clintons, because I don't want to die. So just a reminder, we will not comply ever again. Screw your face diapers, blah, 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 blah. The anti-mandate message comes as some hospitals in several states have moved to reinstate mask mandates, although some have only made it mandatory for doctors, nurses and staff, but some have forced the rule on patients and visitors too. This week, Samaritan Health Facilities announced that it would require masking for staff, patients and visitors. A public relations official with the hospital claimed it is being done because we know it is that masking absolutely works, despite hundreds of studies showing otherwise. Earlier this month, United Health Services in Binghamton, New York, confirmed that it would again require masks for patients, visitors, staff, and doctors because of an uptick, not an uptake, but an uptick in COVID-19 cases. Masks are once again required in all clinical areas of the medical center. And it goes on. Face coverings are mandatory inside our facilities, regardless of your immunization status. We've continued to see a dramatic increase in numbers of DIVIC cases, positive employees over the past 2 weeks, which has led to exposure of both fellow caregivers and patients, even though the test can show up positive with a can of Red Bull. So there's lots of canned Red Bulls that have DIVIC. Let's not forget that. How's the chat going? How are you all down there? Oh, God. You're all buggering off. Everyone's buggering off. Anyway, those of you that are still here, welcome. Oh, dear. Right. What's Miss Blue Sky? There's some chat going on between them. Let's have a look. Trump and the Clintons are so close to each other, people don't realize that they are both two cheeks of the same arse. Absolutely right, Jim. Absolutely. I used to like Trump, but have come to the conclusion he is a Trojan horse. I would agree with that. And James make a good point. They want division, mask versus unmasked. Yep. BB makes a very good point. Raconteurs News is the only show on YouTube filmed on Super 8 film. Jim, I think that was a bit of a dig at your camera, mate. Maybe it's up to you, Jim. You could invest in a new camera, perhaps. Give us some sharpness. Some sharpness. Okay, so let's just do a few more of the video memes, and you can go and have a little bit of a break. I'm not probably going to show all of them, but I'm going to put these up. These are going to be at least 10, 15 minutes. All right. Then I'm going to come back, do maybe a few more stories, and then we'll do a quiz, and then maybe an after chat afterwards. Yeah. So let's add it to the stream. Here we go.
Grow food from your groceries. If you leave sayote in your kitchen counter for several days, they'll start to sprout. Afterwards, when the weather's warm, you can plant them outdoors. And take those old potatoes, place it in a brown bag, wait till they sprout, and plant them in springtime. And if you live in a cool season area, plant your garlic direct in ground around fall. If you're in a warmer climate, sprout your garlic cloves in water first before planting in ground. To grow sweet potatoes, submerge the tuber halfway in water. Change the water often, and when a sweet potato forms a slip, remove it and place it in a jar of water. It will form its own root system, and you can plant it outdoors when the weather is warm. To start sprouting ginger, use a flat tray, place a ginger in water, and wait till they sprout. Plant them when the weather is warm. Save the bottom end of lemongrass, and you can root it by placing it in water. Also plant this outside when the weather is warm.
So you have a dielectric field and a magnetic field, and this is for the exact reason why we're electrical beings. These two fields going on at the same time is exactly how you get electricity. And now I know you've seen this symbol before, and this is why science keeps the truth from you, because if you started to understand exactly what you are, then you're going to understand how your energy works. And this is why you either attract people or you repel people. When you're living in this low vibrational state, it's a very low frequency, low vibration, and it's not creating enough pressure to create a complete field. Which is for the exact reason when you end up getting in a relationship, love activates more DNA coding sites, which basically increases your frequency. It increases your spiritual pressure, and that's why in cartoons, when they're powering up, they put the truth in these cartoons. That's why there's such things as energy vampires, when they're sucking out all your energy and using it for themselves. And this is the exact reason why you need to increase your own spiritual pressure. You essentially have two torus fields, and when you increase your vibrational frequency, so you know how the whole 144,000 go to heaven, it's the frequency. You increase your vibrational frequency, and it creates this field of protection. And that's where you're hearing the whole Kundalini energy, the serpent rising. And going back to what I was saying, like when you get in a relationship, you notice how all these other women start coming to you and start trying to talk to you, and it's because you're attracting them instead of repelling them. Which is for the same reason why Dr. Joe Dispenza says you need to become the experience so that way you can attract it. And by you becoming what you're attracting, that is exactly the way the mind works. And that's how magnetism works. That's how the fields work. And we're all magnets. We're all magnets. We have both of these positive charges and these negative charges, but we need to understand it more so we can pretty much manifest and control our reality and do what we're here to do. But here in this system, we have a lot of people living in that root, that low vibrational chakra, that low vibrational energy. And that's why there's a lot of brainwashing. There's a lot of negativity. And this is such like a weird example, but your whole body is like a tripod. You have your mind, your body, and your soul. And your physical body is of this plane. Your mind is of the ether. And then you have your soul. And if you kick out one of the legs, the whole system collapses, and that's what the system does. It literally, it commandeers your mind, it attacks your body with the food, and it fucks with your soul with whatever these things that are so beyond our comprehension that's fucking around us. This is the exact reason why I'm telling you we are electrical beings. This is why you gotta look at the food you're eating. You don't want to be eating dead fucking nutrition. You don't want to be eating dead animals. I'm fucking telling you right now, you're being lied to. Oh, I went vegan and I failed. Look, I'm telling you, you need minerals and you need H3O2, which is found in fruit. You are a carbon being. Raw pure sugar is carbon.
Didn't call them dinosaur, they called them dragon. The word dinosaur wasn't made up till 1841. It's a brand new word in the dictionary. I got some old dictionaries and looked for the word dinosaur. Even in 1891, the word was not in the dictionary. They called them dragons. Bible mentions dragons 34 times. Even in the 1946 dictionary, listed as now rare. As the population of people began to grow after the flood, the population of dinosaurs began to go down. Because nobody wants to live next door to a dragon. How many grizzly bears are roaming loose in the woods right here in Bucks County? None, right? How many were there 400 years ago, you think? Probably a whole bunch of them. Gilgamesh is famous for slaying a dragon. A Chinese legend tells about a guy named Yu. It says after the Great Flood, they surveyed the land of China and divided it into sections. He built channels to drain the water off to the sea and make the land livable again. Many snakes and dragons were driven from the marshlands. This piece of pottery from Egypt shows two long-necked dinosaurs. Why would they put dragons and dinosaurs on different pieces of pottery that are found from ancient civilizations? What are these dragons? And the Bible talks about a fiery flying serpent. What is this? Herodotus in 400 BC reported the fiery flying serpents. You might want to read that story sometime. The fiery flying... Anyway, in the book of Job, it talks about out of his mouth, Leviathan, go burning lamps and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils go a smoke. Alexander the Great reported dragons when he conquered part of India. Saddam spent a fortune rebuilding the ancient city of Babylon. On the ancient Babylonian walls, which they rebuilt, they found carvings of lions and dragons. This is from 600 BC. How would they know about dragons in 600 BC? Some were still alive, still lived with man. Why would they put dragons on the walls of the city, the Ishtar Gate in Babylon? It's over there right now if you want to go see.
What he tells people, you have a talent. That's why you're here. Find out what it is you can do with your talent. Can you weld? Can you sew? Can you cook? And you don't have to do some big thing, some important thing that gives you recognition. What is it that you like to do? But find out what makes you feel good, that you like doing. Can't be a chore or a bother. And do it. That's your bliss. And never mind what anybody says. When I started doing OGs, people laughed at me. But that's okay. I knew what I had to do. Once I had figured out and I had this conversation with Don Croft, I can make OGs, 6-year-old can make OGs. That's what I'm going to do, and it's going to benefit the community. And I haven't stopped. I've got thousands of Dixie cups scattered all over between here on both sides of the highway to White Rock. And people need that simple reassurance. Everyone can do something, however small, a positive contribution they can make, and that's fine. Believe it in your heart of hearts. You're doing good. Never mind what anybody says. If they laugh at you.
Honey lasts forever. It doesn't go off. It's not affected by viruses, bacteria, pathogens. It's one of those miraculous things. Apparently, the reason that honey does that is because of the frequencies of the bees' wings when they're building their honeycombs and when they're creating and bringing in the honey. So it's a frequency of the bees' wings that creates the hexagonal structure of honeycombs. It's also interesting is that the hexagonal structure is a structure of oxygenated and structured water that cures disease. This is really important. If any one of you can go and record the frequency of bees in a beehive, the buzzing of the bees' wings, and you take that frequency to a lab, a biochemistry lab, and you expose a petri dish of viruses, bacteria, and fungus to the frequency of the bees' wings, I suspect that frequency will kill the bacteria.
Red meat is not causing climate change. Look at these cows. They're eating grass. They are regenerating the land. Yes, they burp out some methane, but the carbon in that methane was part of the carbohydrates in the grass. And how did it get there? It came from atmospheric carbon dioxide that is fixed into the grass as the plants do photosynthesis. That is the carbon cycle. Cows don't create new carbon. They are part of a natural cycle of ruminant animals, bison, buffalo, antelope, elk, that has been going on for millions and millions of years. Look at this graphic from 2016 from the EPA. It shows that cows are far from the highest emitter of carbon dioxide or carbon dioxide equivalents in the environment. What are the major culprits? Transportation, electricity generation, burning coal, and technology. Those industries are trying to distract you by blaming these guys. But these animals provide humans with some of the best food on the planet. If we truly want to take care of humans and take care of the planet, we will have more cows raised properly like this in a regenerative fashion, and we will discard the lies that these animals have any meaningful contribution to climate change at all.
Find a comment. Google which color is 6.66 terahertz. I don't trust Google. But let me show you my SIMA 1000 machine. This plays 5 resonant frequencies that are based on the different energy centers referred to as chakras that are linked to different parts of the body. Different parts of the body are linked all together using this energy meridian pathway which is a very intelligent system. Although they don't make this machine anymore, there's actually 2 new machines called AMI, Acoustic Meridian Intelligence, which infers that your meridians are intelligent enough to process the acoustics that it hears or resonates to from our hair. Yeah, it's not our ears, it's our hair. Our hair is an antenna to the vibration, which oscillates in our body as sound waves, creating magnetism, which transfers into our brain as an electrical impulse. Magic. So back to this comment, code 666. Enter. Oh look, the color blue. And that's what it sounds like. Because everything has a frequency. This is what we're listening to right now. The best part about sound therapy is that it's non-invasive and there's 0 side effects. You're made of water. Your water vibrates to the sounds and it has memory. According to Dr. Emoto, our water has a very specific structure and it retains this structure after a certain amount of time, about 6 to 7 minutes. So if you listen to something for 6 to 7 minutes, your body is resonating. It is vibrating to that frequency or lyrics or conversation. Everything that you hear is affecting your body. The hidden secrets of water. Dr. Emoto has even documented different words causing a different structure in our body. The words you speak causes structure or chaos. And I'm going to be testing this myself with this new dark field microscope. While listening to frequencies, I'm going to be able to see exactly what this is doing in our body. Kind of like this app that shows how sound is affecting water. I'll be doing that experiment myself. My microscope has a monitor, so you're going to be able to see what I see. Something similar to this. Back to that comment. 666. Blue. This color also strengthens your throat chakra. That's the energy center for your respiratory system. Your thyroid, your lungs, your ears, your sinuses, your adenoids, your tonsils, esophagus. I think that's it. I'm going to post the other colors next.
To quickly reiterate, if you say you're exempt and they still require you to wear a face mask, that's contrary to Section 29(5)(a) of the Equality Act 2010. If you say you're exempt and they deny you entry, that's contrary to Section 29(5)(b) of the Equality Act. And if you say you're exempt and they require you to disclose why you're exempt, that's a violation of Section 29(5)(c). Always carry a printout of Section 29 of the Equality Act wherever you go. Now, I'm aware that Costco has declared that nobody is exempt, and if you can't wear a mask, you have to wear a visor or face shield. That's cute, but store policy doesn't override the Equality Act, and Section 29(5)(a) actually says that a service provider, A, must not in providing the service victimize a person, B, as to the terms on which A provides the service to B. They can't require a person to wear a face shield because they're exempt. That's victimizing a person as to the terms on which they provide the service. And with the internet, it's now easier than ever to file a civil claim. Costco, I look forward to seeing you get sued and losing the case. I mean, these virtue signalling businesses are just blissfully waltzing into a legal minefield.
If all the people in the world, 9 billion inhabitants, stood next to each other, 4 people per 1 square meter, the entire human population would fit on an area the size of the Istrian Peninsula. If each person in the world were provided with a space of about 1,000 square meters to grow food for themselves, the entire human population would fit on an area equivalent to the size of Brazil. If each 4-member family were provided with a space of about 700 square meters to grow food for themselves, the entire human population would fit on an area equivalent to Iran. In 2019, it was estimated that there were approximately 7.7 billion people in the world. Almost all the necessary vegetable quantities for a 4-member family can be produced on about 200 square meters of garden space. It is known that arable land currently covers an area of about 31 million square kilometer. On this land, the vegetable quantities needed to feed 155 billion people, or over 38 billion 4-member families, could be grown. There are not too many people. There is more than enough space for everyone, except for greed.
In some of the most secure labs in the country, scientists are already preparing for the next pandemic. It's just called Disease X for now, because nobody knows for sure which virus will cause it. But at its Porton Down complex, the UK Health Security Agency is scanning the horizon for threats and starting work on vaccines just in case.
What we're seeing is a rising risk globally. Now, some of that is because of things like urbanisation, where you may get species jumping, so virus jumping from, as we've seen with bird flu, into humans. Some of it is because of climate change. So this is a growing risk agenda, but then it's one that we can use our science actively to prevent human impact.
It took a little under a year to develop the COVID jab. The target for a vaccine in the next pandemic is just 100 days. Bird flu, monkeypox and other animal viruses capable of infecting humans are being closely monitored.
One early success is a potential vaccine against Crimean Congo hemorrhagic fever. It's spread by ticks with a fatality rate of around 30%. It's found in Europe and it's moving north with climate change. That's why they're trying to get ahead, and clinical trials are already underway.
We've got another dead bird, not quite sure what that is.
But it is bird flu that currently tops the list of threats. Tens of thousands of seabirds have died this summer. There have been 4 human cases in the UK too. All worked in close contact with birds and all are well. But the National Trust, which looks after long stretches of the coast, is urging people to be cautious.
I think people are aware of bird flu and they're aware that there's dead birds that are being washed up. We're asking people not to go anywhere near the birds, and especially if they've got dogs, to keep the dogs on leads as well.
The bird flu virus has mutated and spread between some mammals, but the UK Health Security Agency says the risk to humans is still thought to be low. Thomas Moore, Sky News in Pembrokeshire.
There you go. Ramping up the fear again. Ramping up the fear again. Jimmy says this, good point. Porton Down is a military operation working with some of the most dangerous pathogens known to man. Yeah, and putting them out there as well, Jimmy. They sprayed down Spanish's Way, all down that coastline. Lynmouth got washed out back in the 70s, I think it was, as well. Where they did some spraying. Good evening, Mahatma Malevolence. Nice to see you. It must be the avian climate change Epsilon variant. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah. So they're definitely out to try and poison us as much as they possibly can, aren't they? What else? Oh, this is another. I highlight some points. So Chris says. All well and good, but who's going to live in the Sahara and Siberia? We'll have to build over all the countryside as well. Chris, it's just putting some facts and figures out there, But who would want to lay down their life because they, if you think that we're overpopulated, do you want to volunteer and say, yeah, I'm gonna lay down my life? I personally wouldn't. I really wouldn't. Did you like that? I thought it was really interesting, the video where you saw in the stone, they were lasering patterns into the stone. And you're thinking, we see that from the past, don't we? In documentaries on YouTube and stuff like that, and about Tartaria. But I thought that was fascinating, where you saw those lasers just lasering out into a stone, a full dragon shape. That was, for me, that just blew my mind. That's why I had to share it with you. It really did. It absolutely blew my mind. Stewie, is content king? I don't know, mate. I don't know. But thanks for watching. I appreciate you watching. I'm just sharing a lot of videos that I thought that would interest people. I've got a few more this week than normal because I was away last week. Just folding my legs here. Bear with me. And also, I thought the dragon one, that we came from dragons, was interesting. And Paula says, or that dragons used to walk among us or fly among us. I've been called a dragon many times, says Paula. And an old witch, I'll say. Jimmy says, this is actually true. Humans and dinosaurs did live together. There is lots of evidence to support that. Yeah, so were dinosaurs actually dragons? You don't know, do you? You just don't know. And James says about the 144,000 comment about that guy who was saying, he said, if you got jabbed, 144,000 does not work now. I think you're right there, James. I think you're absolutely right. Johnny says it doesn't work well with an aging society about population. Do you think? What do you all think? Do you think we're overpopulated? I don't think we're overpopulated. If anything, the population is actually going down now, and the medical intervention that they introduced a few years ago, it seems to be working. It really does. That's at least 30 people from 2, not including great-grandkids. Okay. And he's got a comment up here. Sorry. That's the issue. No one wants to lay down their life. No one doesn't want to have a family. I'm talking from experience. My grandparents had 9 kids and each had at least another 3. But you don't see that anymore. My parents came from that generation. I believe I've spoken to Paula, and Paula said that she came from a big family. You don't see those big families anymore. They don't exist anymore, mate. So the population is going down. I believe. We're not going to become overpopulated. I think it's naturally going down anyway because of everything that's been happening recently. Now, what did Spanish is having a bit of an argument with Jimmy here. Let me see. What did Jimmy say? I can't see it. Miss Blue Sky says, yes, Dr. Rob, plenty of water and food, just the evil rich scum making sure we don't get enough access to it. Absolutely right. Chris says, you could probably double the world's population in another 50 years, no problem. Then it would double again in another 50. You'd have 40 billion people in 100 years. Here's a question for you, not just for Chris, but for everyone. If that's the case, right? So there you go. You're talking about doubling. Where was when I've looked at pictures from the past, right? Back in the 1800s, why has every picture got handfuls of people? There's hardly anything. They naturally, for me, reset things anyway, Chris. Look what they've just done to Hawaii. Look at what they did to back to America a few years ago with these wildfires. We all know that they're not natural. They're not natural. So someone is in charge of making sure that there is an agenda going on, so that people, are depopulated. In my opinion. What else is being said here? Spanish is saying overpopulation is complete bollocks. I tend to agree with him. Johnny says, in fact, we in the West are massively underpopulated. So this has caused some controversy. Okay, so I can't see that comment. Jimmy and Spanish are having a chat there. I don't know what's being said. Elephants have to eat 18 hours a day to stay alive. With that ratio, a brontosaurus would have had to eat for 50 hours a day. Thank you, Mahat. And Megasaurus says the Sauruses were a very big family. And Paula says families spread everywhere. It's awesome. Absolutely. Dinny said, Mascara, me too. My father's side, 9 kids, mother's 4. There we are. And what was Mascara saying then? Let me have a look. Mascara, here we go. I've got 35 first cousins on my mum's side. It's great to have a big family. Yep. Absolutely. It is. It is great to have a family. And I think the reason they don't want us to have families and and to spread out again is what are big families? Big families are clans, aren't they? They're clans of people. It's your clan. We're a clan, aren't we? We're a tribe. Whether you watch this show, whether you watch Pete's show and Cookie's show, and whether you watch Steve's show or Jimmy's show, it's still there's a clan, a community that come together, and that's what they don't want. They don't want people. They don't want people talking. That's why they try to divide us. That's why they try to keep us 6 feet apart, because that's your aura. That's your auric field, isn't it? That's your auric field. Your natural auric field is 6 feet around you, and so that's what are we saying here. Spanish is saying so. We are underpopulated. Keeps coming up with this bullshit. Jobs that don't need doing. It's bollocks. Yeah, and what they got robots now coming in, haven't they, to do every job? We've got AI. AI is going to put so many people out of work as well. I think that's a good thing, really. At least then we'll all get a bit bored and start shagging each other. Well, Dinny will start shagging Spanish anyway, The First and Second World Wars did a great job in killing off a population. Chris, I think a great job is a bit harsh. Yeah, I really think that's a bit harsh, doing a great job. But they did a job of killing off a lot of people. And remember, they also fooled a lot of people into believing in wars and standing up for these twats that took them to war in the first place. But I think I get your point. What a mess, says Steve. Absolutely, mate. What a complete mess. It is a mess. It's a complete mess. Right, and on that note, let's just hold that there. Let's do another story, shall we? Share screen. Here we go. We've done that one. Oh, here's one from the British Boring Society. Nitrous oxide, laughing gas, to be illegal by the end of the year. I used to have at my partner's old house, where we lived in a different part of Bedfordshire, where she lived in a different part of Bedfordshire. She used to have kids outside, literally just having laughing gas. And when you go to Glastonbury, whatever you think of Glastonbury, honestly, these canisters were spread absolutely everywhere. They really were. So yeah, nitrous oxide, laughing gas, to be illegal by the end of the year. Oh, let me get rid of these fucking cookie settings. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, there we go. Right, now I can read the story. Here we go. Laughing gas will be categorized as a Class C drug. Get off, go away. That's it. And made illegal by the end of the year. The UK government has announced possession of nitrous oxide, also known as NOS, will carry a sentence of up to 2 years in prison. Laughing gas is one of the most commonly used recreational drugs by 16 to 24-year-olds. Heavy use can lead to a range of illnesses, including nerve-related symptoms. Supply of nitrous oxide for recreational use is currently banned, but possession is not. The government initially announced its plan to ban nitrous oxide earlier this year as part of a plan to tackle antisocial behaviour, but on Tuesday set out new details of the law change. It said these found in unlawful possession of the drug could face up to 2 years in prison or an unlimited fine with up to 14 years for supply or production. However, there will be exemptions for legitimate uses of nitrous oxide, for example, in medical or catering industries. The gas is commonly used as a painkiller for producing whipped cream in cooking. The substance, which is sold in metal canisters, can cause headaches, and make some users anxious or paranoid, whilst too much nitrous oxide can make a person faint or lose consciousness. Heavy use can lead to being unable to walk, falling over, or experiencing tingling or lost sensation in the feet and hands. Some users have nerve-related bladder or bowel problems, erectile dysfunction, or incontinence. It said the government said it said a ban would be disproportionate with the amount of harm linked to the gas. And last week, health experts also warned the government against the ban, saying it could stop users seeking medical help. Use of nitrous oxide soared during the pandemic. Announcing the law change on Tuesday, Home Secretary Suella Braverman said people in the UK were fed up with yobs abusing drugs in public spaces and leaving behind a disgraceful mess for others to clean up. She was talking about the MPs at the Houses of Parliament. Earlier this year, the Prime Minister and I promised a zero-tolerance approach to antisocial behaviour. Excuse me. And that was what we are delivering. If you caught using laughing gas as a drug, you could be hit with a hefty fine or face jail time. I need a drink. Excuse me. Arseholes. I've had too much laughing gas. The government's crime and policing minister said there is no question that abusing laughing gas is dangerous to people's health, and it's paramount to take decisive action before the situation gets worse. Not only are we making possession an offence for the first time, we're also doubling the maximum sentence for supply to 14 years, so the dealers profiting off this trade have no place to hide. Yes. There we go. So they're getting rid of it. Basically, it's as simple as that. You ever tried nitrous oxide? When I used to go to Glastonbury, they used to have nitrous oxide tents, like little shops. Go along there. They would fill a balloon up for you for, I think it was like £2. Fill a load of, literally, go along. Off you go. It was lovely. But it's not something that you should do, kids. I'm not recommending it. But yeah, it was it's a bit of a buzz. It really is. And I can understand why it was so addictive as well. And yeah, and then when you go up to the Stone Circle at Glastonbury, which was in a different part of the festival, literally those canisters, those little canisters, they'd be sprawled everywhere, whatever the fucking word is, but they would be everywhere. And all you would hear all the time was where they're cracking them open. Here's a fact, right? My son's friend who went there with a load of them and selling them, he made an absolute fortune selling them up in that Stone Circle at Glastonbury. But his karma was he did get mugged and he lost about half the money, only because he hid the other half in his pants or something like that. But yeah, you need nitrous oxide for cars, though, Robert. Yeah, I suppose. Well, in certain cars, I suppose, Chris. Yeah. Chris says, Miss B, my mum did acknowledge that all the politicians are lying a lot and that I was right. Well done, mate. Well done. My mum says that she's never going to have another jibby jabby. And I pray that she sticks to that. But her memory's not so great at the moment, so she might forget that she said that. What else has been said? So Johnny says the overpopulation discussion is always a false one from the start. Like anybody can tell another what to do. Is that how you want to live? Absolutely, mate. Well, they're trying that, aren't they? Let's do another story. Where we going? 4 minutes to 10. I hope you're hanging around. I will do the quiz. We'll do the quiz in a minute. Should we just do one more story, shall we? Let me pick the last story. I've not got them all. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Here's one. Okay, this is funny. More fear mongering already, like about, we get 1 week of suddenly that we're getting some heat, and here we go. Look, UK heat wave. Heat alert upgraded to amber as temperatures to hit 32 Celsius, which they did today, by the way, where I am anyway. Heat health. Oh, yes, I agree. Stupid thing. Here we are. Heat health alerts have been upgraded for much of England and amid warnings of temperatures hitting 32 Celsius, 89 Fahrenheit midweek. There is an amber warning in 8 of the country's 9 regions until Sunday. Only the northeast has a yellow one. The UK Health Security Agency, that's an oxymoron, isn't it? Health Security Agency. Amber alert means people of all ages could be affected, putting the NHS at risk. Hot conditions will also be felt in Wales, whilst parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland could see unseasonably high temperatures. English regions, including the amber warning, are London, the South East, the South West, East and West Midlands, and East, North West, and Yorkshire and Humber. All 8 were issued with a yellow warning on Monday, but this has now been upgraded. The North East is the last remaining region to have a yellow alert in place. This means that the elderly and those with pre-existing health conditions should take extra care. That means you, Denny. It also means officials do not believe there will be a significant impact on the NHS in the area. I love the way that they now put everything in red and everything. Look, on that bit. Look. Oh, hot. Oh, it's terribly hot. Yeah, give me that heat, because in about 2 weeks' time, we're all going to be putting on coats again. Temperatures reach 30 degrees on Monday in southern England and the southeast Wales, according to the Met Office. The hot weather comes after what has generally been regarded as cool, wet summer for much of the UK. Exactly. That's why we love it. Give us this heat. Whilst July in particular was wetter and cooler than average, with maximum temperature failing to regularly reach 20 Celsius, the previous month was the UK's hottest June on record. Yeah, all right, so June was good, but July was crap. August was crap. They're not saying that, are they? They're not even saying how crap August was. The warm conditions have continued through Tuesday, with highs of 31 expected near London. Parts of southern and western England could also see temperatures stay above 20 Celsius overnight into Wednesday, according to the Met Office. And it goes on. When will it end? When will it end? Average temperatures are expected to return by the middle of next week. Heat waves are becoming more likely and more extreme because of climate change. Last year, the UK recorded temperatures above 40 Celsius for the first time. Scientists said they would have been virtually impossible without climate change. Oh, you could talk so much about this, couldn't you? You really could. Forecasters say it's due to the Saharan dust, which began to cover parts of the country yesterday and will continue for the rest of the week. There we go. We love a bit of climate change, don't we, here in this country? And all it is generally just doom and gloom. Let's have a bit of sun. You know what? I tell you what I wanted to share with you. When I was walking along the beach only yesterday, okay, the amount of laughter, smiles, happiness, good vibes that I saw down there, people just loving it, absolutely loving it. And all they want to do is poo-poo the fact that we've got a bit of sun now. That's all they want to do. They just want to make it all doom and gloom. Oh, watch out. Do you know what? I got a little bit red. And I started noticing I was getting a little bit red, right? I thought, oh, time to cover up. I covered up. Absolutely fine. No problem. When I got home, I put Dr. Robert's salve on. Here's a plug. Don't forget, if you want some of Dr. Robert's salve, there we go. Look, it's there, Links are in my bio. in the YouTube page if you fancy it. And I put some salve on, and I didn't have any stinging. I won't get any peeling. I can guarantee you I will not peel or anything like that. I'll be absolutely fine. And you'll be absolutely fine because you're tuned into the Health Freedom News and Chat Show on a Tuesday. And we're now going to do a quiz for you. Everyone loves the quiz. So stand by your beds. Here comes the quiz. It's quiz time. And it's the ultimate quiz. It's the Lovat's free online trivia quiz again. And today, I think we're going to go for... I think I'm going to pick a bit of general knowledge today. Okay? General knowledge. All right, then. Here we go. Let's general knowledge. And I'm just going to share this with you. Here we go. So stand by your beds. Let's present this. Share the screen. Here we go. And we're sharing. Here we are. How many letters in the first names of tennis champs Mandlikova and Peers? How many letters in the first names of tennis champs Mandlikova and Peers? I fucking don't know what this means even. Is it 2, 3, 5, or 4? A, B, C, or D? How many letters in the first names of tennis champs Mandlikova and Peers? I don't even understand that question, if I'm honest with you. I don't know if you do, but there you go. Let me just get rid of this. Let me get rid of that one. Let me get rid of that one. There we go. So Steve is saying 3, which is B. Mascara is saying B, okay, which is 3. Johnny's saying C, which is 5. Spanish is saying D, which is 4. Oh, this, and BB's got the right answer. He's saying Z. We can't have any Z's on this show. BB, we know what the Z means, don't we? I've got zebras on my my parasol, actually, by the way. Yeah, I love a zebra. And Pete's saying cat cheese is saying C. Who's that then? Who's this? Who's cat cheese? Who's cat cheese? Cat cheese is new. Who's cat cheese? Who is cat cheese? Anyway, Paula's saying B as well. There we go. Right, so let's see the answer then. Here we go. Is it A? No. Is it 4? Is it D? It's 4. Congratulations to whoever said it was 4. It was D. Let's have a look. Who got that right? Spanish said D. Here we are. So Spanish said D. Who else said D? There's not many. Spanish got that one right. Okay. So next question. The forename of which of these tennis stars comes first out? Why is it to do with tennis? The forename of which of these tennis stars comes first alphabetically? Is it A, Wilander, B, Pierce? Oh, Navratilova or Celes? So is it Wilander, Pierce? The forename of which of these tennis stars comes first alphabetically? Oh, fucking hell. This is a bit shit today, isn't it? Right, here we go. Mascara saying A. Oh, Spanish is saying he's probably on Cookie Show. Hi, Cat's Cheese. Oh, I see. It could be Cookie. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. James is saying B, Pierce. Any more? Spanish is saying C. Navratilova. The four names. Yeah. I think it's A myself. I think it's A. Okay, so here we go. Let's have a look. I'm going to go for A. I was wrong. Is it Celes? D. No. Is it Pierce? No, it's Navratilova. A tattoo is not only a mark made by inserting pigment into the skin, but also a what? Is it a beer tap, a drum performance, a pigskin bookbinding, or a brand of sword? A tattoo is, I know the answer to this. Is it A, a beer tap, B, a drum performance, C, a pigskin bookbinding, or D, a brand of sword? I think I know the answer to this. A tattoo is not only a mark by inserting pigment into the skin, but also a what? What say you? What say you? Dinny says it's a drum performance. Man says it's a drum performance. Spanish says drum. Kitty saying drum. Drum, drum, drum. We're all going for drums. Yes. It's a drum. It's a drum. It's a done drum. So we crashed the gate doing 98 is a line from which 70s hit. So we crashed the gate doing 98 is a line from which 70s hit. Is it A, Ben, B, Rasputin, C, Convoy, or D, Fernando? I know the answer to this. Do you? BB is saying C. Amanda saying C. Mascara saying C. Spanish saying C. Paula saying C. Gonzo saying C. Dinny saying C. I think we all know it's we got ourselves a convoy, boy. Which fashion designer died on June 1st, 2008? Was it Yves Saint Laurent, Giorgio Armani, Christian Dior, or Gianni Versace? Was it A, B, C, or D? Yves Saint Laurent, Giorgio Armani, Christian Dior, or Versace? I haven't a clue, if I'm honest with you. I'm going to pass this over to you lot. Chris is saying A, Yves Saint Laurent. Johnny's saying I don't care. Mascara is saying C, Christian Dior. Kitty saying B. Dinny saying B. New Bean. Oh, welcome, New Bean. You popped up, you little lurker, you little lurker. B. So B seems to be the favourite here. No, it was wrong. Is it Yves Saint Laurent? It was Yves Saint Laurent. Who got that right? Who said Yves Saint Laurent? Who got A? Who said A? Chris said A. Well done, Chris. He's cheating, probably. The final of the TV show MASH set a new record of how many million viewers? You're going to have to really be clever at this. A, 206, B, 6 million, C, 106, or D, 56. Put the numbers down. Don't just give me A, B, or C, right? Come on, put the numbers down. James is saying 56 million. Mascara is saying C, which is 106. Spanish is saying 206 million. Chris is saying C, 106. New Being saying 100. Spanish is saying 6. Gonzo, 106. I'm going to go for 106. Kitty saying 206. I'm going to go for 106. Let's have a look. Yay! Where would you find a ledger line? At the post office, in the ocean, on a triangle, or on a musical score? Where would you find a ledger line? Is it at the post office, in the ocean, on a triangle, or on a musical score? Hello, Jerry, as well. Jerry's there. Can I have an E, please? No, it's a P, please, Bob, isn't it, Jerry? Mascara is saying D. James is saying A. Spanish is saying B. Paul is saying C. Amanda saying D. New Bean saying B. Oh, we've got a right mixture here. Okay, so I'm going to go for, I think it's on a musical score. Look, we know it's not the post office, right? Okay, I don't think it's on a triangle. So is it in the ocean or on a musical score? I think it's on a musical score. Yes. Okay, what does a garbologist study? Oh, I've never heard of this. What does a garbologist study? Confusion, trash, Swedish actresses, or fashion? Newbeard might know the answer to this. What does a garbologist? Two from the top, says BB, please, Carol. A, Kitty says. Paula says D. Spanish says D. Gonzo says C. James says the news. Denise, what's Denise say? Oh, it's moving. So Fuds. It's moving so fast here. No idea. Amanda saying B. I don't know either. Let's have a look, shall we? Let's find out. Is it A, confusion? No. Is it fashion? No, it's not. Is it Swedish actresses? No, it's trash. In 78, which fashion designer introduced the casual, sophisticated prairie look? Was it Ralph Lauren, Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, or Lagerfeld? I haven't a clue. I really haven't. BB saying A, Ralph Lauren. Paula saying B, Calvin Klein. Kitty saying C, Tommy Hilfiger. Mascara saying D. Oh, we've got a right mixture here. Mahatma Malevolence is saying C. Bit of Tommy. James Owen saying D. Okay, let's have a look, shall we? Was it Ralph Lauren? It was Ralph Lauren. It was A all the time. Didn't you know that, people? Last question. If you ordered tiramisu at a restaurant, the waiter would bring you what? I know the answer to this. Is it fish, dessert, salad, or red wine? Come on. This one's not difficult. Tiramisu. What are you ordering? Johnny says it's B, a dessert. Dinny's saying it's B, a dessert. Steve's saying it's B, a dessert. Any more? Miss Blue Sky says it's B. Toilet paper, says James Owen, and Mahatma Malevolent says off. Pudding, love a tiramisu. Yeah, it's a tiramisu, isn't it? It's a dessert. Of course it is. And that, ladies and gentlemen, concludes the offering for tonight. I'd like to say thank you for joining me, but I'd like to leave you with some shit jokes. Here we go. Look, some shit jokes. I'd just like to leave you with some shit jokes. Pupil. I didn't bring my calculator today. This is very relevant because all the kids are back at school. Pupil. I didn't bring my calculator today. Teacher. And? Pupil. I've got nothing to add. Here's another relevant one. What do you call a dinosaur that looks after its teeth? A Velociraptor. Do you know Murphy's Law? It says that anything that can go wrong will go wrong. But have you heard of Cole's Law? It's thinly sliced cabbage. Teacher, can someone tell me the plural of sheep? Pupil. Sheep. Teacher. Correct. And the plural of baby? Pupil. Twins. That's rubbish. The dictionary I bought today is just a book of blank pages. I have no words to describe how upset I am. What is green, fuzzy, has 4 legs, and would kill you if it jumped on you? A snooker table. My girlfriend left me because I'm too insecure. No, wait, she's back. She just went to turn the heating off. Which word has 5 letters but becomes shorter when you just add 2 more? Short. What does a joke become a dad? When does a joke become a dad joke? When it becomes apparent. Doctor, I keep referring to people as days of the week. Take 2 of these and call me Monday. Oh, Christ. Some of these are terrible, aren't they? Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. I'm going to leave you with the last of these memes, actually, because there's just a few more. And I'm also going to put the link in, so we'll finish the show at the end. Don't forget, if you want to bung me a few quid just to help support the StreamYard, this is the last time I'm going to ask, all right? Please, if you can, please do so. Where is it? Where's the link? Let me follow the link. Let me find the link. Hang on a second. I've got it here somewhere. Here it is. Let me copy that. Copy. And then let's come out of here. Let's put it in the chat again. If you want to bung me a few quid towards the StreamYard, please do so. There's the link. It's also in the show notes, along with all the stories in the show notes as well. I'm going to leave you now. I'm also going to put the link up for if you want to join me in the after chat. Here we go. That's copied. So either watch the last of these videos that I've got to share with you. And here's the link for the after chat as well. Remember, the reason I'm trying to raise money is because we have a good after chat community. And yeah, the StreamYard will allow up to 10 people in. So thanks for watching, everyone. Give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed the show. Please share it. I'm not a Dr. Robert. Welcome to my surgery. I shall be back with my next surgery next Tuesday. And I'll leave you with the thought of my my wonderful dad, who used to say, they may come as you, come as good as you, but they don't come any better. I'm going to post your comments as I'm leaving you with this video. Cheers, everyone. And I'll see you. Don't forget, Pete and Cookie tomorrow. We got Steve the Tagoose on Thursday and Jimmy the Happy Jimmy on Saturday. All right. Thumbs up, everyone. Love you. Thanks very much. I'll speak to you very, very soon. I'm going to leave you with this. Goodbye.
In Tahoe, that he had tentatively decided to recommend everyone get the new vaccine. When is he going to decide finally?
So I think you've heard from the FDA and CDC. They've made an announcement on the new vaccine. So certainly they said that there'll be an updated vaccine mid-September, I believe. So we know that, as you all know, vaccinations against COVID-19 remains the safest protection for avoiding hospitalization, long-term health outcomes, and death, which is why we are going to be encouraging Americans to stay up to date on their vaccines.
How about new?
June, July. Wow. And so how far are we away from one vaccine that's both COVID and flu together?
First, we need to have a flu. And if we have a flu, already we started experiments to combine the two so that we don't lose time again. I think we'll come more or less all together if it is successful.
Australia is putting a world-first vaccine to the test. Human trials getting underway for a 3-in-1 jab to protect against common and deadly respiratory illnesses. The super shot could save time and money, as well as pressure on our health system.
Combating a triple threat with one single jab.
You could go to the doctor and get one vaccine that essentially covers you for influenza, COVID and RSV, as opposed to going back several times in that same year. That would be helpful.
And it could be closer than we think. The University of the Sunshine Coast starting clinical trials of a new Moderna vaccine.
So the aim of this trial really is to see whether a combination vaccine that includes all three would be as tolerable as giving someone each vaccine separately.
COVID, RSV and influenza, a triple-barrel shot posing a major shake-up to Australia's annual vaccine rollout while helping to ease the burden on an overloaded system.
One visit, one vaccination, possibly a booster, as opposed to potentially 3 visits, 3 boosters, and I just think that will take a big load off our current health system.
It can take several years to collate enough data before the vaccine can be rolled out safely. Researchers here are now looking to expand their pool of participants and are calling for more volunteers.
We're looking for people who are generally in good health between 50 and 75, and they can be male or female.
I'm quite proud to say that in the years to come, if this vaccine is developed, that I played a tiny, tiny part in its development.
Especially against the potentially deadly RSV, of which there is no current vaccine available in Australia. If the vaccine works, the trial could be extended to younger people.
A successful trial will mean Aussies will spend less time bouncing between GPs and pharmacies to get their jabs,
putting less stress on an already strained healthcare system. The 13-month trial is seeking healthy volunteers between 50 and 75 and pays $150 a visit.
Travel goes towards my next cruise.
If I hold it like this and I let it go, what will happen? It will drop. Why? Gravity. Boring. We start spinning it. Ready? I drop it. Ah! Yeah, let's face.
No, what?
What's happening? What's happening? It's a gyroscope now. It is spinning and it is precessing like our planet Earth. We will put erasers there. And now we will pour liquid nitrogen. So, liquid nitrogen goes in. Aha! It boils like crazy, like crazy. Now listen, 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 listen. Tell me when it stops boiling. It stops, almost nothing there. So this is equilibrium. Now they are at the temperature of liquid nitrogen. Now we will take a petri dish and 3, 2, 1. Wow! Aha! They are now like stones. But what happens with rubber when it warms up? Check, check. Is it flexible again? Yay! You can use these erasers. It's a gift from physics department. We give you erasers. So shaving cream. Go, go, go. We will add colors. Red, green, blue. You love blue. Me too. I cover it with this bell jar. I seal it. And I switch on vacuum pump, which will pump out air. And there will be no pressure from outside. I switch it on, watch. It's expanding. Air expands. Because no pressure from outside, but there is pressure from inside. It's getting big. Now, I switch off my vacuum pump, watch. Equilibrate pressure. Only soap is left. This demonstration is on pressure. Each of these light bulbs is very fragile. If I step on it, I will definitely break it. But what if I have 3 of them? Let's check. I will switch them on. And I will put them upside down. And you know what? I will step on them. I'm doing this actually. And it works. What am I doing now? I'm redistributing my weight among 3 of them. That's why it works. Pressure. If you want to do it at home, do not do it with light bulbs. Do it with eggs. I'll show you.
Cayenne pepper is a very powerful herb, and cayenne pepper moves blood. Cayenne pepper can be used internally and it can be used externally. The easiest way to take cayenne pepper internally is to start with about 1/4 teaspoon, put it in a cup, add water, mix it round and just drink it down. It'll tingle for a bit, but the tingling subsides. I find most people can build up to 1/2 teaspoon. Why would someone take cayenne pepper like that? Cayenne pepper thins the blood. I know several people that have chosen to stop warfarin and their blood thinning medication and go on the cayenne pepper. And one lady told me that her husband went to the doctor and he said, I don't know what you're doing, but keep doing it. Because the cayenne pepper was keeping that blood nice and thin. No side effects to the cayenne pepper either. Cayenne pepper thins the blood. Cayenne pepper strengthens the arterial walls. Cayenne pepper, I was reading, has also the ability to rebuild the heart muscle. A lady I tended one day because she just had a heart attack. It was at our health retreat in Melbourne. I was given the call. A lady's had a heart attack. I went running down and her husband was there. He said she's already had 3 this year. She was 80. When I looked at her, she was very pale. There was a man holding a pulse. He said, the pulse is almost gone. I said, quick, cayenne pepper. I got about 1/2 teaspoon, just put it straight into her mouth. I'd say 2 minutes. And the guy holding a pulse, he yelled out, the pulse is strong. In 92 minutes, all the blood came back to her face. She blinked and sat up. We gave her a glass of water. She said she didn't even feel the heat in her mouth. What did that cayenne pepper do? It immediately thinned the blood. It opened all of those capillaries and got a dramatic delivery of blood all through the body. When you think about it, 1 minute for one drop of blood to go around the whole body. You have glands under your tongue called sublingual glands, and it can take it straight into the blood. So it's very dramatic.